Hey everybody, what's going on? I'm Rob Sesternino, and I am very excited to talk to you tonight on Triple Eviction Night. It's our Big Brother 22 pregame show for the patrons of Rob at the Podcast here on the very first day of October. We are closing in less than 4 weeks to go until the Big Brother finale, and we're talking about a night that may make or break the season. And I'm very excited. We have a great duo here to talk things through with us here tonight. We're very excited to have back with us Kevin McLean and Nigel Bocanegra.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Yes, doing great. Doing great. Very excited to have my favorite podcasting duo who's here. I feel like I talk to so many different great solo acts, but this is the top duo in podcasting.
Yeah, I think we're a real pair. I think it makes sense. Since we were both, knew each other as reality TV fans, I used to ask which of us is the Julia, which of us is the Liz, I think we came down to he's both Julia and Liz, and I'm Adria and Natalie. So both ends of the spectrum.
Yeah. I don't remember which one was Thickums. I don't know if you want that. I don't know if you want that designation. But anyway, so Kevin and Nigel, for anybody who's joining us tonight who has not heard you yet before on a podcast, do you want to tell us a little bit about your Big Brother experience so far in Big Brother 22?
Like most people, we mourn every week. But it's been really exciting. This is Nigel's first, I think, all-star season. So for him, it's been a really interesting ride, I think.
Yeah, every week we're really hopeful coming into Thursday night on who HOH is going to be. Maybe we're not always super excited at the outcome, but every Thursday night we have hope. And tonight I am hopeful. It's a lot of unprecedented ground to cover. So I'm gonna choose to be excited about it.
Okay, we're going to take some calls here from the patrons of Rob as a Podcast. We'll also take some questions from the chat as we get ready. Less than an hour to go until the big triple eviction tonight. Do you have any predictions, Kevin and Nigel, about how tonight could go?
Kevin will go home first, and then Julie will wax poetically. I think that's the only prediction I have. I think there's so many different ends, likely with Danny going home, I think, at some point, but that's pretty much all I'm willing to stake my name on.
I think that I'm going to predict a lot of crapshoot comps. I think they're going to need to fit a lot into a short period of time. And I think that could actually help shake things up a little bit. I'm really hoping that we'll see some variety in who wins the comps tonight, which could keep things interesting. I'm going to predict that Danny is targeted in the first full cycle of the triple eviction here. I'm going to predict she wins veto.
Yeah.
I'm going to predict she wins HOH and strikes back at whoever comes after her.
Yeah. That's what I said last night. Yeah. Don't forget about don't sleep on Danny. She is a veto threat. Certainly. Yeah.
Nigel's very high on Danny. I find myself very frustrated with her. She's very Andrea Belke, Sarah Dawn Thomas. She keeps teasing me that she's going to do something, and I'm like, girl, you got to give it to me eventually. I don't know how much longer I can wait.
I think that's a fair assessment of what we've seen of Danny so far this season. But I think that of all the people left, Danny is probably one of the ones who's most likely to really, shake things up moving forward if she's able to survive tonight.
Yeah. I mean, as long as she can get under Paula Calafiore's brother's thumb, then I think she actually has a chance. So let's hope that's what it is, because I'm very excited for BB13 Danny to kind of arrive, and maybe this is the chance.
Okay. Let's take some calls. Let's see what people have to say tonight as we get ready for our big triple eviction coming up tomorrow or tonight. I'm sorry, tonight. Oh my God. So exciting. All right. Let's say hello to Bob, who's on hold. Okay. Bob, how are you? Hold on. Bob is muted, and Bob is... Okay. Bob's going to get this. Bob, I have confidence. Okay. All right, we'll come. Bob, we'll come back to you. Okay?
Do you have me now?
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Bob.
Unbelievable.
What's happening?
Rob, I got to tell you, it's been a few weeks since we talked. And at that time, I was in a hotel. I was on vacation. I was trying to be really quiet and stuff. And then I wanted to talk to you the last couple of weeks. And then one time I like fell asleep too early.
Because Bob, you're in Europe, right? Do I have that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I live in the Czech Republic.
Yes. Yes.
Ooh. So anyways, I got myself a new phone. I got myself connected to better internet. I'm at my own balcony. So it's been, you know, a couple of weeks, couple of tweaks, but we've gotten here.
Yeah.
I'm feeling better.
Okay. All right, Bob, we are just a mere 50 minutes away from the triple eviction kicking off. Do you have a prediction or a question?
My prediction is that we're going to see one of these comps and we're going to say like, oh man, this is made for David. And then, you know, Cody's going to win it. So I feel like that's what we're setting ourselves up for. I don't know, something in the dark now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that's his new specialty, his only specialty, I guess. I don't know.
It'll be hard to pull off the dark room on the live show.
Yeah. No, that'll look great. That'll be perfect. They'll all come out. They'll say Cody won it. We'll believe them, and we'll move on.
Bob or Rob, I mean, how much are people? I know a lot of people are like ironically rooting for David. How much of this is real support for David, do you think?
If you want me to answer honestly, like I'm not impressed with David at all. I find him like really frustrating, and like I watch for the strategy. Like I love Tyler and Big Brother 20, and like Rob used to make this analogy in Big Brother 20 that like Tyler was spinning plates all the time, right? Yep. Like he was running around, he was spinning this plate, and like we got glimpses of that this season. Like
now he doesn't care.
Before he wanted to go home, he was doing that. We kind of saw a flash of that where he was going around, he was making those connections, and then one day basically he decides like, I don't want to be here anymore, and he stopped spinning those plates, and they all just came tumbling at once. And like that's frustrating for me to watch because I want to see like good strategic play, and we're just not getting that. We're getting it from Cody and nobody else really.
His good strategic play after now the plates have fallen is promoting Angela's cookbook.
I was going to say that those plates were on loan from Angela's plant-based kitchen.
That's the long-term strategy here, you know? That's how they walked him off the ledge too. They said, you know, Tyler, maybe you won't win this season, but you'll have 12 more episodes to talk about that cookbook.
I don't know. I heard the reviews on the B&B, and I'm just,
I heard those
I'm not
too.
interested.
You know, I think if the analogy for Tyler is that he's running around spinning all these plates. Whenever someone has a conversation with David, he's like, "I got a mug here." Like, that's a mug. Like, no, I actually have a fork. I don't know. What do you think about that? It's just like you never know what he's actually trying to get at.
I mean, I've never. David's fascinating because I don't know if he's worse at lying or telling the truth.
Yeah,
he's just constantly a bad communicator, it feels like. And I do think there's a lot of people who are rooting for him. And like they want him to win so badly, but I just don't want my heart broken. So I can't root for David. Rooting for David to win the season is like rooting for Joe Jorgensen to win this election. It's like
Joe Jorgensen
for an established figure to lose. But you know what? You're just setting up yourself for a fall. So just enjoy the ride. That's how I feel about David. But I think he does survive this week.
Look, I am rooting for David, and I would love to see him win. And I think that he is far and away the least objectionable choice that's on the board. And he also, I do think, has a real underdog story if everybody sort of discounted him. And if he does win, he will have had to have done something. Like, I don't think that he could just like, just somehow miraculously Mr. Magoo end up in the final two and win the game. That I think that he probably will have to win comps. So he will have had to have made a move at some point along the way to ultimately get the win if he is the winner. So I think he's an easy guy to root for.
I mean, I'll do handstands if he wins any competition this night. It'll be the most exciting thing to happen. But it's just like, oh, I can't set myself up to be hurt. I think that's the whole like Big Brother experience, right?
Yeah. All right, Bob. Anything else?
Just that it's after midnight here, so it's officially my birthday. So
happy birthday!
Happy birthday,
Bob. Libra season.
Thank you very much. Yeah, right.
Yes.
Fellow Libras. That's
It's
why I
all
love
happening. All right, Bob, you
All
take
right,
care.
thanks for
Enjoy
having
the show
me.
tonight. Okay.
You too. Bye.
All right. Bye. Yeah, that was an interesting point about Tyler just seems over it. Like, what does Tyler get excited about? Just plant-based cooking? That's it?
I mean, I think that Tyler really, really enjoyed, you know, like spinning in circles around everybody his original season and really being able to maneuver in a way that I just don't think he was ever going to be capable of this season, just because people came in with so much more experience in the game and had played with other amazing players as well. And I think that it was always just going to be a much different experience for him this time around.
Yeah. Yeah, it seemed like it really bothered him also that people thought he was like a good manipulator. I've heard him say that a few times of like, yeah, I don't know. I just don't want people to respect me for being a liar and being a manipulator. That's not cool.
Yeah, he's like the antithesis of Danny, who's just like in the diary room, like, I'm a great manipulator. Sure,
yeah. Yeah. Boy, if she could get an HOH tonight, that would be exciting.
That would be phenomenal. I'm telling you, Vito first to save herself, then HOH.
Wow.
So eventually like on a revenge tear, you know?
Yes, yes. It's like the Kill Bill tour for Danny. Yes. That'll be very exciting.
I'm imagining like something similar to like when she wins the wall comp in 13. You know?
I do think Nigel's right. A Danny win somewhere would be really exciting as long as she does something with it. What I was fascinating with last episode was when Nicole told Christmas that Danny was coming after her. Cuts to Christmas in the diary room. I heard she's coming after me, so I have to win this veto and keep nominations the same. What? It felt very much like Survivor Vanuatu when Scout goes, Amy's in control. We have to butt out Eliza. Like, I don't understand sometimes the decision making, but you know, I think Danny does have the potential here, and I'm still waiting for her to fully achieve it.
Okay, let's take a call. Let's say hello to Marietta. Marietta, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
Yes. We're going all across Europe first.
Yes. First to the Czech Republic, now to Greece. It's international. Nice.
Yes. Marietta, how are you?
I'm good. I missed last week, and I was excited to potentially talk about the Dr. Will appearance, but that turned out great. So,
yeah. Well, let me just throw this to Kevin and Nigel real quick. All right. What was this week? The neighbor twist of Dr. Will.
So I'm kind of convinced he will make an appearance in some way.
Yeah, I think so. We'll at least
make a video appearance.
Guys.
They will show the video of the house guests.
Yeah, there's no way that all of this was just a brief appearance earlier, but we were talking and saying that like, how could they have leaned in more to the theme of the BB neighbor? You know, like, could someone have gotten a note from the DR and it says like, hey, some of the neighbors were complaining you haven't cut the lawn. The HOA is really mad. You have to go in the backyard and
the HOA, not the HOH. Yes.
Yeah, the HOA. I think that'd be like really fun. A lot of like fun tasks where it's like Dr. Will asks you to pet sit, or Dr. Will stole your packages, or didn't return your mail. Like, I think that could be fun. And he has so much charisma, and they use none of it. So they have to do it tonight, I think.
I don't know.
They should have had him comment on the HOH comp. They should have had him on the balcony, and then all the out of bounds shots could be like, well, that went great. You know, the charisma that Dr. Will has, he's a great troll, so that would have been great.
Yeah. Commentary of any sort.
Even if it was just like the Rob and Sandra booth where it's like, okay, he's supposedly like looking out his window, watching what's going on. Even if they can't hear him and he's like just watching like a monitor and they're just splicing it together. Give us something. You teased us that like, hey, like here's something fun. There's a puppy in the box. They're like, all right, let's put that box over here. What happened to it?
Yeah, I remember like Rob, Boston Rob was commenting on how Dean was like crossing his legs. It wasn't like necessarily game commentary. It was like just fun.
Yeah. So unfortunately, we'll see. And maybe there's something, there's 2 hours tonight. Maybe we'll see some more with Dr. Will, but don't get your hopes up other than like, hey guys, a triple eviction is coming.
I think we will see the video that they showed the house guests with the 3 steps ahead, which is very weird wording. like Tyler and Angela used that in the double eviction.
Yes,
So
yes.
was that a reference?
I don't know. I don't know.
No.
If Tyler ends up going out on 3 steps ahead, he'll be full circle.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Taryn was saying that Brent was saying that if Danny goes out on the same place as her previous appearance while staying loyal to the alliance, and then Tyler goes like Brett went out, it would be karmic. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Mariana, did you have a question for tonight?
A question. Not so much. I wanted
Prediction.
Yes. Prediction. I don't know why, but my gut is telling me that Memphis is going to go out.
Memphis. Wow. What a world, Kevin.
I don't know why. It might be nothing.
What do you think the scenario is where Memphis goes?
If David or Tyler win a HOH for sure. If Danny has already gone and he's up next to Nicole, I think Memphis goes next to Nicole.
So Tyler would put Memphis on the block?
Yeah, I don't see him putting. He won't put Christmas up for sure, and then I don't see him putting David up. He doesn't have a relationship with that strong a relationship with Memphis.
But you say that's in the scenario where Danny is already gone?
Yes.
Okay.
But then if Danny isn't gone and then it's Memphis and Nicole on the block, Memphis still goes home. So that could work too.
Look, I think the scenario tonight, if one person that's not named David or Danny goes out in the triple eviction, huge success, I think.
Yes.
It's very exciting.
It depends.
Yeah.
Because if does it have to be neither of them?
One person that's not them. Why? Who? What would be the scenario that would be a failure?
If like
terrible time.
Go home. I think the love triangle kind of has the numbers at that point.
Who's that? If who goes home?
So that wouldn't be very exciting.
Mary, we lost you when you said when you were going to say the names. You said that if who goes home, the love triangle would have it.
If Memphis and Tyler go home.
Memphis and Tyler. Okay. Look, I'd watch it.
I think that what we want is, I don't think it even needs to be specific people going out, but what we want is 2 people who will leave the game as wide open as we can possibly have it. So people from different sides of the alliance, 1 and 1, I think would be pretty good, but yeah,
that's why I'm not really excited for Danny to become the veto queen again, because what's that gonna do? She's still a number for Cody. She's still loyal to Cody. She's oblivious to what's going on in the house. And what's that gonna do? She's just gonna go out at final 6.
I mean, I'm hoping that Danny getting nominated is going to help open her eyes to her position, but I do think that Danny becoming veto queen tonight is not exactly getting her to the end game. Maybe getting her another actual week in the house.
I'm laughing at Melissa in the chat who says, I hope Tyler doesn't go because then I'll lose my stock.
There's going to be a lot of losers in the stock watch this week.
Yeah, some people are going to just get completely busted in the stock watch. My great hope for tonight is that somebody is just like furious that they get voted out. I want to see somebody so angry and mad. Christmas would be a great candidate. Somebody goes up on the block that was not expecting it and is just irate.
I think that the most likely candidate for an angry exit is Christmas being put up after someone is vetoed off the block and she didn't get to play.
To get back to her.
Yeah. So bad. And if she leaves without any chance of saving herself, I think she'll lose it.
Mariana, but that would have been so awesome if we had a full week of that.
Yeah, but they would calm down. They would calm down. I mean, we would just get to see nothing but unbridled anger. Mariana, what day is it in the house? Was it day 50? What?
Oh,
something like that.
Jesus,
right? It's 55 days.
54.
So, yeah, it's going to be for one of these people. They're going to go from never having been in any jeopardy whatsoever to go home, to out the door.
Yeah, that's
great.
true.
I'm gonna love it.
I think best case scenario. Well, best case scenario for me would be if Cody was out the door, but that's not really likely to happen. So realistic best case scenario is if the final 6 is a combination of Cody, Nicole, and Enzo. I think those 3 will probably be there. And then if Tyler, Christmas, and David survive the triple, I think they will stick together. So
Tyler,
it will be
Christmas,
kind of like
David.
a 3v3.
Okay. All right.
So that
That's exciting.
could kind of open up the game. Because if Memphis survives, he still has the wise guys. So that would be
Memphis is so boring. Get rid of Memphis. Right. That would be great. Can I just share something else that's cracking me up from the chat? Tracy Burke says, Taryn stock blocked me this week with the 5 that he gave Memphis. LOL. Marietta, is stock blocking a thing in the stock watch?
Apparently. I've been very upset or excited with some of the stock prizes. I remember when Melissa gave that 6 to Enzo, the chat was going wild because they thought that Enzo would drop.
Oh,
yeah, but the average didn't matter in the end. But the chat was really upset.
Okay,
I loved it.
All right, Marietta, we'll hope you don't get stock blocked on anybody. Okay,
I played it safe.
Okay, sounds good. All right, Marietta, take care. Okay.
Take care, guys.
Okay. All right. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Let's say hello to another caller who's here. Braden is here. Braden, how are you? Well, Braden's just gonna get you to unmute.
He's muted.
Hold on. Yes, Braden. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, coming to you from my office.
Yes. Okay, Braden, where are you calling from?
We got out of Europe, thank God.
Yeah.
Okay. Canada. BC.
Canada. Oh, all right. We're all around the globe.
International night.
Yes. Okay, Braden, what do you want to talk about?
Truly. I mean, I wanted to talk about, the Tyler thing. I feel like a lot of people think Tyler's playing a different game, and I've been trying to push this to all my friends watching that I think we've talked in the past few years that Machiavellian gameplay doesn't work to win a Big Brother game anymore. And I think that this is Tyler's better game. I think people are leaving, and you'll watch his DRs and his goodbye messages, and it's a different Tyler where he's he tells the truth, he seems likable, and I think he can fucking slide to the end. Sorry for the language.
Okay. All right, Braden. Let's hear.
I think he's better placed than Enzo even in the house right now.
Whoa. Okay, let's talk this through. Now, Kevin and Nigel, I know Dan Giesling has gone on record saying a Machiavellian player can't win anymore because the jury gets too bitter. It's in the era of bitter juries that they don't reward that type of gameplay anymore. So do you think that Tyler is playing a better game that could win him a jury vote this season?
I don't know. I just feel like, you have Dave on in the jury probably telling everyone that walks through that Tyler wanted to quit at one point. I don't know if a lot of people would respect that. That's kind of my gut reaction. I mean, I do think Tyler's doing a good job. I think he's just naturally suited to do well, but I don't know. There's just something missing there that maybe this is the better game, but every time he opens his mouth, I just think I just snooze or something. So maybe I'm not keen on all the details.
Because I always talk about with Survivor, with these All-Star seasons, that players come back and they try to implement what worked for the winner of their season. So has Tyler come back, Braden, and tried to KC-ify his game? Is that what he's going
I hope
for
he
here?
get the same tattoo as her. I mean, yeah, maybe. The thing is that I do think, and I don't know what you guys think about this, that sorry, people say my voice is quiet, but this is one of the most lopsided games where around 8, it's I see people with 80%, 90% win equity, and then I have 3 or 4 people that I see have almost 0 win equity unless they're sitting against perfect person. So, to me, Tyler is one of those people with a lot of win equity just because he's always been a good player. Cody, maybe
Mm-hmm.
two others. But, to me, the Christmases and honestly, even the Davids would have such a hard time winning at the end, even if they get there. So I don't know if you guys feel that, but it seems really lopsided. It's a weird season to watch.
So, Kevin and Nigel, that I am a David stan, rooting for David to win the season, but I do feel like that Tyler might be a bad matchup for him. Maybe for the reasons that Braden is talking about, where I kind of feel like that up against Cody, I almost feel, or an Enzo, I wonder if people might feel more burned by them, whereas Tyler, other than maybe Davon, other people may not feel like as burned by Tyler.
I mean, I think that, if I was an all-star in the jury house this season, I think I would have a really hard time giving my vote to somebody who was so adamant about quitting at one point.
Mm-hmm.
And, while I also would have a hard time voting for David's gameplay, I think that if you were up against someone who's wanting to quit and you were someone who most people counted out the whole time, I think that there is a little bit, something that's enticing about voting for David and what his win would mean versus someone who was pretty ready to go at one point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really don't have much more to say.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea that maybe Tyler is playing a KC game. I mean, I think that could be it. Maybe he's going to like turn up the heat now and take his best ally to the end, and the ally this time is Christmas, and he'll win. So,
but I do think that overall, it's really hard to improve upon his last game because he had such good positioning to get himself to the end, and he managed to get 4 votes. He only needed to flip 1 vote out of 5 in order to actually walk away with the win. And I just think that in general, it's hard to play a better game than that, no matter how many times that you come back. So I think I might still say that his first game was his better game.
Okay. All right. Braden, thank you so much for the call. Okay.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And by the way, Rob, I wanted to say Tyler Kakuno lives in this city, so if you ever need me to take care of anything for you around here, I got you.
Braden, you sent me the video link, right? Yes.
What? No, I don't think
no,
so.
Oh wait, that wasn't you. That wasn't you. That was somebody else.
Sure.
Okay. Sorry about that. All right. No. Okay. All right.
Okay,
take care.
All
right. Bye. Okay. All right. So, boy, we've talked about a lot this season is Big Brother Broken, but if it turns out that the way Tyler played in Big Brother 20 is the way to lose the game, and the way to win the game is to sit around and do nothing, then yeah, time to go back to the drawing board.
Yeah, definitely. I think.
I really do think that after this season, especially if we end up in a scenario where it's like all the guys left at the end, especially if it's like some combination of Cody, Enzo, Memphis, Tyler, like if like that's the final 4 of the season, I really think that at some point, like I don't even think that, like, even if the producers don't know what to do, I really feel like CBS is going to say to them, look, you got to do something here. Like, look at this is broken. This is objectively, people will say this is the worst season, and this is what you gave us. You told us you had a good idea for this season.
I think it's interesting because, this is just coming right off the back of Winners at War, an all-star season as well. And that season is significantly better received by its fan base. Mm-hmm. So, the CBS might look at it and say you were teed up to have a successful season with all of these, favorites coming back. And, it still didn't turn out well.
Yeah, I remember in the beginning when people talked about, like, they really wanted a lot of winners. And so that kind of justified Nicole Franzel's return, who was kind of more maybe an obscure choice, not nearly as a lock as maybe Janelle is. But I actually think Big Brother winners are some of the worst people to return, especially the ones from the modern era, because we've seen 90-some days of them. Yeah, I think part of the fun on Survivor is that because they're edited, we get to see them lose. What does a losing edit for Kim Spradlin look like? There is no edit for Josh Martinez to lose or win. So it doesn't really matter in the same way. And so I think really I think they should put more volatile personalities in the house. I think that's much more effective and more interesting. And I also think they have a habit of putting people who see themselves as part of the in-group in any natural social situation because they're very affable. You need to put paranoid people in there. People like me who are just like in your friend group, like, are we all really friends or not? Because that's the people that would shake the game up, who aren't always confident that their core group is going to win out.
You know, I will say, in fairness to production, that I think that not that I was dying to see Casey come back. I think that Josh would have been interesting, but I do think that had those two people been in the house, it would have been a different story for like Nicole and Ian, who would not have been the only two winners. It also would have been a more diverse house also. And I think that that would have also changed up the dynamics in terms of the way that the alliances all came together for this season.
Yeah, I actually think you're right. As a gay Filipino, I say I do not want Casey on my screen again. And just because I think she promotes like the wrong direction for the show. But I do think you're right. I think having a more diverse cast is important. I think because we've had a diverse cast, we've had interesting conversations. And I know Nigel and I had a lot to say when it came to the David Kevin conversation last night as two people who are mixed race. And so it has been very interesting in that sense. And I think Casey and Josh's inclusion could have made it more interesting. Do
you want to add to anything from what Kevin and David were talking about from last night?
So I think I saw on Reddit just a few hours ago, someone posted like, David's such a sweetheart. He said the right thing to Kevin. I go, no, he didn't. That to me, that was actually a really, the wrong thing to say to someone.
Okay, well, can you just reset what was it that David said and tell me why you feel like it was the wrong thing?
So it was the moment where Kevin is telling David that he's essentially asking, what do you see me as? Because Kevin is biracial, he's Black and Asian. And to me in that moment, Kevin was telling him, you know, a lot of people don't see me as Black, but he clearly views himself as Black. And so he's asking David, what do you see me as? And David does not affirm him and tell him that, you know, you're Black and Asian. I do see you as Black as well. He tells him, I just see you as you. That is not, to me, it was pretty tone deaf in hearing what Kevin was telling him. And he just says, it's like, no, you're just you. And that's all that matters.
Yeah. It's just, it's like his heart was in the right place, but it was just like, I think it's kind of unfortunate that it's kind of a schmaltzy colorblind moment. You know, I went to school for sociology, I have a master's in it. One of my final papers was on racial consciousness of Black immigrants. And so like, I think racial consciousness, how people feel about themselves and in their inclusion is interesting. And, you know, the show's been on for 20 years. And I think this is the first time, other than maybe Gina Marie talking about Candace's Black side, that someone's talked about being biracial on the show. So it is interesting, I think. But it would have been nice to have, you know, I think more of a deeper conversation with some of the other people as well. You know, I'm half Filipino, half white. My mom remember sitting me down saying that, you know, you're half and half, but people are going to see you as Filipino. And lo and behold, years later in my life, people see me as Mexican. So it is a really interesting thing about how people perceive you and how you also racially assert yourself. And I think that could have been more interesting conversation. But
I had no idea what Kevin's background was.
Oh, I remember. I'm half Asian, so I remember him talking about being Blasian on Big Brother 11.
Yeah,
it was really interesting to me. And I think, you know, for him, it is fascinating because Japan had like a Black Miss Japan recently, and there was a lot of controversy online because it's a very ethnically homogenous country. And so him being mixed race between two groups that aren't usually associated with one another is interesting in itself. And I'm glad he was able to discuss that.
Yeah. All right, let's take some more calls. Still got a lot of people on hold. Let's jump in and let's say hello to Chris, who's on hold. Okay, Chris, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
Doing great, Chris. What's going on?
Just waiting. I'm pretty excited for the show, actually, because even though they've kind of had a warning with the whole triple eviction stuff with Dr. Will, I do feel like it's still an unknown territory because knowing's half the battle and the rest is just them implementing it. So I'm excited for like the twists and turns and maybe the unknown because you never know when their heads are spinning.
Okay. So Chris, what do you want to talk about?
So I wanted to, it's more of a prediction because, you know, part of the storyline that's been going is Nicole can't win comps. I do have a feeling though that she might get her first win tonight because I feel like there's going to be like 4 competitions going on pretty much. And so I feel like one of them just in terms of space has to be at least like a questionnaire or some small carnival game. So I feel like she has a good chance to finally get something under her belt. If she were to get a comp win under her belt, do you think that would actually boost her chances at this time for her to like have a win equity, or do you think it's like too little too late?
My question is, does she want a comp win right now? I think she's worried about going up on the block, and that's the only reason why I can see her doing it. But does she want to move where she has to put people up on the block here?
See, I feel like she knows. So this is like kind of like conspiracy theory. I feel like she knows game-wise, but I feel like because she doesn't want people upset with her, like my theory is that she didn't want to get the jury upset with her for the veto, but for some reason she wanted to seem like she was trying just for like viewership or something, because she got up the ramp like 3 times, then got up there the 4th time.
I agree. I think that was a throw on her part. But let me ask Kevin and Nigel, do you think that Nicole wants a part of this live HOA? Because I do wonder that I've been talking about how I feel like she has been trying to scapegoat Danny in the diary room. Could this be, if she is the person to get Danny out of the house, could she then feel like I had that, Davon, Ian, I did this for you. I put Danny up on the block. She made me do all those bad things, and I couldn't take it anymore.
Yeah, I think that's what she would do. And I think that's probably what she should do, I guess. I mean, I don't really know how many paths she exactly has. I've actually come to, ironically, not loving or standing, but ironically appreciating Nicole Franzel through the course of this season, which is not a place I expected. I had a friend who was very new to Big Brother, started in like BB19, and he goes, so I've seen on the pre-show, like, why does everyone hate Nicole Franzel? Is she like really mean? Is she like Russell Hantz or Nayanka? Like, what is she like?
Yeah.
She's just kind of lame and flaky. Like that's all. That's like the aura of Nicole Franzel. And I'm very fascinated with the idea that the most heinous new villain in Big Brother history is kind of this dorky, clumsy girl from Michigan that charges $3,000 to people to go to her wedding. I find that oddly fascinating. And even though I know she's lying to us in the diary room week after week after week, unlike Derek, it's so transparent that each time it comes on, I just want to like sit down and be like, what narrative is she going to do today? Like, it feels very Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Like, what alternative factor are we getting now? And I am very engaged with Nicole in a way that I have not been previously.
Okay. Nigel, are you also very interested in Nicole?
No.
Okay. All right.
No,
I like when you guys disagree.
I think that I would like to push back on the idea that Nicole winning a comp tonight would increase her win equity, because I think it's important to know that you can win a comp and make a mistake in the decision with the power that you have, and that decreases your win equity. I think that Danny really made a mistake a couple of weeks ago when she put up Tyler and then backed out on it on the last second. I think that if Nicole gets power and she helps push Danny out the door, she's lost Davon, she's lost Danny, she's lost Ian. She's just like pushing herself into losing, you know?
But it's not about winning for her. It's about getting more sponsors. So if she can change the ship on that, that's good for her.
All right, Chris, what do you think?
I do agree with the point about what she does with it, because I think if the history of the season continues, it's going to be Nicole goes to Cody or whomever and says, "What do you think of this?" And they're going to say, "Man, I don't think that's going to work at all." And then they're like, "Okay, I'll just do what you just said."
Yeah.
So because the point is that she's got kind of getting dragged in is, I guess everybody wants Danny out, so they're probably going to push Danny on her. And then everybody pretty not as much, but wants David out at some point, especially in a double where that's kind of like the collateral or accidental damage, I guess, if they can't get what they want. So I'm sure they're going to be pushing either for the safe move, which is David, or the safe-ish move, which is Danny, because everybody wants her out already. So I feel like her mind, and also because like the history of the season, it's like people, if they try to push on anything with Cody or Memphis, whoever's in power, it lasts like 5 minutes. All they have to do is say no, and they're just done.
Okay. All right, Chris. Well, thank you for the call. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. How's the new place? Everything's good?
It's great. I start my new job with Costco tomorrow.
Ooh.
And,
Congrats.
and you know, just pretty much we still have a bunch of stuff sitting around here, but we got like PlayStation.
Are you wearing the Dr. Will robe by any chance? Also,
I don't think it's the Dr. Will robe, but it's an HOH.
Oh yeah,
it is a robe.
All right, Chris, take care. Okay.
Right, take care, you too. Bye.
Okay. All right, we still got calls to get to. Let's go to Alec and Susie, and then Nate. Okay. Here comes Alec. Alec, how are you?
What is up, Rob? I am doing great. How are you?
Yes, doing well. Very excited for the triple eviction. Although, Alec, I think I may be setting myself up for disappointment once again here in this Big Brother season.
Well, that's how Big Brother works, right? We start the week, we get excited, then we're disappointed, and then we rinse and repeat.
And for anybody who doesn't know, Alec is the my go-to guy in terms of positive psychology study.
Yes. I have a sociology degree as well. I heard you talking about that. Yeah, generally, I try to come here and bring the positivity.
Okay.
I don't have a lot of time right now.
Be the positive. Yes.
That's right. If you remember, Rob, when the cast got announced early on, I came into a call, and I told you who I was going to be supporting in this season. And if you remember, that person was David Alexander.
Yes.
Before we do any of this.
Yes. Why was that again? Why did you single out David?
Because he was the one that we knew the least about. So there was the most to see.
Yes.
And keep in mind, I don't care about strategy at all. I have not run through any scenarios tonight. I am here for a bleep storm. And really just have had a fun time this season watching David make mistakes at every single turn. And that is good Big Brother to me.
Yeah. I think you're right. David's
playing really, like no one is watching.
David's really shaping up to be the Christina Cha of the season. So there is something fun. I agree with you.
Yeah, the beloved Christina Cha.
Hey, she was recently featured in the Dalton Ross that quarantine. What does he call those? The the basically like here's a interview with somebody that I think Dalton Ross like emailed like 200 people and then puts out whenever they write back to him.
Wow. Yeah. Well, she's getting ready for Game Changers too. So that's Christina Cha's mission, I think.
She's gonna put the Cha in Game Changer. Alec, how's your dog? What's going on?
Oh, he's been a little bit disruptive, to be honest, but he's finally calmed down, so we're good. You want to see him?
Well, I saw that he has his what do you call that? His cone,
cone. Yeah. Jeez, did he actually sneak into the shot?
Yeah. He says. So his cone moving around.
Yeah, it's his punishment costume.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's a little bit hurt right now. He's got some rashes, so we're making sure. But he's a good boy.
Hope he's doing okay. All right, Alec. So other than David is going to crush it, any other prediction for tonight?
Oh, no, David's not going to crush it. I wanted to make sure
he's going to get crushed?
Yeah, I wanted to make sure that I just had the record from the very beginning that I love David, because this is going to be my last chance to be able to support him.
Okay, all right. Long live David. All right. Alec, always great to catch up, okay?
Yeah, you too. Talk to you later, man.
All right, take care. Bye.
Okay, bye.
All right, let's say hi to Susie. Susie, how are you?
Hey, it's Sussy. How are you? Oh, that was funny.
You missed it, Rob.
You missed it, Rob. You were off, and they called Sussy, and they were like, "Wait, no, I think that's
I'm just illiterate. That's really all it comes down.
Yes, I saw your messages in the chat.
They were cracking me up when you weren't around.
Okay.
So anyway, wearing my Danny shirt tonight, guys.
Yeah, let's go with full screen.
Manifesting veto.
So this is the Danny shirt. Okay.
Yeah. Here's my Danny.
That I'm so hard to follow this storyline, this up and down. That you love Danny sometimes, and then you want her to be voted out other times.
I'm a complicated woman. I mean, come on. So I said last week I had to jump the boat and come on the Danny side. Who else are we rooting for other than a David win at this point, right? Mm-hmm. So for me, it's Tyler, because he deserved to get it on 20. Not thrilled with this season, but not much people are playing better than he is, to be honest with you. Like Cody is, Enzo is.
Yeah.
That's it, right? So, and then I really wanted a girl to win this season. I'm still about that girl power. I wanted a girl to win initially. I loved the women we had on this cast were so fantastic. And then to see them just go out one by one. So I'm over the Danny train. I'm on board.
You're on it. You're back on it.
I wish the girls in the house also wanted a girl to win. You know, really nice. I'm actually low key rooting for Memphis or Nicole to win because I think it'll make production rethink everything, and I think that's the long term thing that we want for this show's success.
Yeah, like the Nicole thing, her edit this last episode, which she made happen, right? Like that was a whole thing that she did the competition. And then after she was making like Enzo retell her the story. So there was footage of them being able to, so she knew that was going to make air. I can't.
I think she's a master of, she knows like, yeah, she's like very smart about that.
She's savvy. I think that we really underestimated her, and we should have realized this. She comes into the season as a social media influencer, which means her whole job is
why I'm an influencer, because I know what the edit is going to be.
and Nicole, get on the Nicole train. Get on the Nicole train right now. The idea that the person who has like the trail swath of like carnage is Nicole Franzel is hilarious to me. She's like Lil from Survivor Pearl Islands. Like she caused all this danger. She's like, you guys, like that's so stupid. I love
the difference. That Lil had no idea what the show was going to be. She's like completely opposite in that way. Although I have to be honest that I feel like this is a little bit of a subtle dig because my impression of the two of them is very similar between Lil and Nicole Franzel. But Kevin, let me just ask you, because you said that you hope that either Memphis or Nicole wins, so production has to rethink everything. I think that if Nicole wins this season, I think that they're going to look at this as this was a huge success.
I don't know. Maybe
they love her. She was they'll really like oh, we have our 2-time winner. She came back. She beat the odds. It was a woman winner. I think that they will really put her they will like really push her. I think Memphis winning the season, I think that it's like, all right, we need a meeting. Like this went terribly wrong.
If I were right, you're right. I'm not gonna fight it.
Yeah.
I agree with
Nicole for final 3, and then she gets booted. I want as much Nicole changing the narrative as much as possible. I find her very, very interesting.
I loved her on this last episode. I thought she was like the most entertaining part of this last episode, not only because they just set it up the right way, but also because she's a mastermind too behind the scene. I got to see the workup behind it because I watched the live feeds. So seeing those 2 points of views, I even tweeted, CBS made me enjoy Nicole. I can't get, I can't get behind that, but I like Nigel's, everything that Nigel said tonight. Let's make that happen.
For veto. Make it happen.
Look at that veto.
Yes. So let's get Danny and a veto queen. That's fine. I understand she has to be on the block. I just hate when it's a foregone conclusion when we're going into a night that we're going to lose a decent player, someone that is making moves in the house, no matter how sloppy they are, guys. They're still moves. It's still something for us to watch.
Yeah.
So,
Susie, I don't want to let you go, but let me bring on we have somebody else, one other person on hold. Nate is on hold. Let's add in Nate to this conversation if you're available, Nate. Let's see. Nate, are you there? No. Oh, Nate says up. I'm out of here. Okay, sorry. All right. Susie, that's why I'm glad I didn't wrap up with you and then just to get to Nate.
Good job.
Yeah.
So this week I've had to hear about bidet talk on the live feeds. So I want to know, this is one of the questions I wanted to ask you guys.
Yes.
How much are you guys willing to pay for a bidet?
How much?
How much are you willing to spend on a bidet?
I don't know. How much do they cost? Was it like $100?
So I'm going to give you a range, like 2 to 500 is what Kaser said.
2 to 500 is a lot.
That's what Kaser said. So
that's like half of Trump's tax return. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
I think he might have paid less, guys.
So
yeah.
I've never used a bidet.
Me neither.
So if I'm going to be,
I would like to.
I need to like try it once before.
Okay.
So
yes.
I need like a traveling salesman.
So, yeah, so you feel like
unseen.
Yes.
You have to. Okay, I got it.
You feel like that there should be like back when that people can go to stores. Should there be some sort of like bidet store at the mall, like some sort of like sharper image for bidets?
I think you just have it in the mall restroom. And
it's like
there's a bidet. If you like it, go to this store.
Yeah, some sort of like restroom slash bidet. Yeah.
That's a great marketing strategy.
Yeah, come on. Yeah. But basically, yeah, it's like look at this free public restroom, and then you just see that, but we're going to give you our card after.
Does like one of the salespeople just like hang out in the bathroom waiting around, like, oh, or do you want to use this one? I don't know.
It's the bathroom attendant. They have mints and also like coupons. You know, they're here to get you to get the bidet.
No, right outside. Right outside.
The water.
Yeah.
Right outside the bathroom door, so it's extra creepy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Matt Ligori that he had gotten himself one for his birthday, but didn't get the heat. I think that I think he'd want that feature.
Matt made a mistake there.
Yeah.
Even though it did cause an accident for Enzo.
Susie, why did they start talking about it again this week? Kaser's not there.
They have nothing to talk about. This is what I'm saying. Other than this pseudo flirting that Cody does with Danny, which was a long time yesterday, and bidet talk, I have nothing fun to report from the live feed.
Okay. They got done talking about Californians and New Jerseyans. There isn't anything else. They've already covered all of the denominators. How do I use that?
Yeah, it hasn't been much. So I'm pumped for tonight. I'm so excited. Yeah. I don't agree with the notion that anybody we lose is okay, but I mean, at the end of the day, we're going to deal with it and we're going to move forward. And like you guys said in the beginning of the podcast, this is our most hopeful time of the week.
Yes, it is, right before the episode starts.
Let's enjoy it.
Susie, all right. Well, great to catch up with you. Kevin and Nigel, what is somebody from DC called? Does that have a
yes.
Yes.
What? We're Washingtonians.
Washingtonians.
Washington.
Yeah. Or because we don't have representation in Congress, you can call us second-class citizens. Whatever you prefer, both work. But yeah, Washingtonians is the classic terminology to use.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. There you go.
It was great to talk to you guys.
Great to talk to you. All right. Enjoy the episode, everybody. Kevin and Nigel, where can people keep up with you?
If you think I'm handsome on this feed, you can follow me at Asian Narcissist on Instagram or at Asian Narc on Twitter.
I don't know what my Twitter is. I'm going to check very, very quickly. I think
that's how you're not a narcissist. You don't even know what your Twitter handle is.
I'm at Bocanegra_Nigel. I'm learning how to spell that.
Okay. All right. Well, I always love to get to catch up with the two of you. It's always a lot of fun for me. So happy that you came on to talk to us on the Patron pregame show. If you check this out, want to be here with us next week, and you're watching us on the YouTube video, I ended up making this one available for the public because it's such a big night. You can join us at robswebsite.com/patron for next week. Big patron cast coming up tomorrow as well. So I'll have a lot of time to talk to patrons on Friday afternoon. Enjoy the triple eviction. We'll be back. We've got a jam-packed panel tonight after the episode. Taryn, Brent, Kirsten McInnes is going to be with us. Phil Thompson as well. There'll be a big show tonight. Hope it's all of your triple eviction dreams come true. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye, guys.